We got a ton of stuff recently. Pink bubblegum. If you ain't scoping, you hope it. You full of shit. That's a fact. When they say that these are durable and they catch like 50 fish on them, quit lying to people. Just be straight up. They are a super finessey little bait. Like, alright, this ain't nothing new. You know, I don't need to BS you guys into doing some clickbaity title or, I don't know, whatever else is hot and popping on YouTube today. That seems to be the deal, by the way. Dude that light's having a party. I don't know, man. All that stuff. It sucks because on YouTube, like, if you just genuinely produce content that is like straightforward, it doesn't do well. Like, it just doesn't. I don't know, it's because like y'all don't like it or the algorithm doesn't like it. I mean, ultimately, the end of the day, right, these companies, whether it be the YouTubes or Instagram, Facebook, any of that jazz, like, their existence is based on people watching, people engaging. The longer they can keep you on the platform, the more valuable you are to them. And we have gone way into a fucking squirrel hole that literally has nothing to do with what we're doing today, except for the fact that, like, maybe some of y'all didn't get that. And just based on the data that I see, like, I get tons of views and watch time from people who aren't subscribed to this channel, and it doesn't make sense to me. I'm not the smartest guy in the world. Maybe y'all are, right? Y'all probably are a lot smarter, a lot more intelligent than me, and that's great, that's fine. But it's like, are people just creeping? Like, are people just like watching my stuff and they're like, but we're not gonna subscribe, we don't want them to know that we're watching? It's kind of weird, it's kind of creepy, a little bit, to be honest with you. So yeah, if you're not into bass fishing, if you're not into boats, if you're not into camping, if you're not into outdoors, if you're not into overlanding, if you're not into kayak fishing, if you're not into learning, if you're not into sharing knowledge, if you're not into new tackle, if you're not into any of this chaos, like, if that's not your deal, okay, don't fucking judge me, all right? Then you're probably gonna click away now if you haven't already. But if you haven't and you do like new gear, it's 6 sec in your face. Let's go. Hell yeah, you know, we had to get that plugged up. By the way, this stuff right here, this is all for organizing stuff, because all behind you is lots of tackle. By the way, there we go. Let's see. Yeah, is that a little bit better? It looks a little bit low. Kind of gives me a little bit of a tummy. And at, you know, over 40 years old, I'm like proud of not. This is all fucked up. All kinds of fucked up. There we go. Is that better? Kinda, yes, no, maybe so. Let me turn that fan off, by the way. Alright, we got a ton of stuff recently, not only from the Bassmaster Classic, got a ton of new gear to go over. I'm excited to bring that stuff to you. I'm excited to share tackle with you. Like, I like that stuff. You, for your own protection, I'm not going to show you what's behind the camera, but I love tackle. Like, seeing the differences, what it does, comparative projects, like, you know, hey, here's a swim bait, here's a swim bait. What makes them different? Like, right? Great example. We've got a 6-inch, got a 5-inch. What's that? What's the difference? And recently I had a bunch of conversations with people that reminded me, like, about the basic shit. Look, if you've been doing this for 15 years, first off, you've probably already clicked off. You're not watching my shit. Like, people who do anything for a long time, they get really narrow focused. And that's fine. Right? But that's not what is going to help me maintain a huge learning curve, right? You get laser focused down to one thing, you become an expert in that. That's fine. That's great. That's cool. But it also turns you into a very niche person, right? Anyone outside of that very laser focused, singular focused thing, like, they don't exist to you, you don't exist to them, right? So I'm not your expert. Just a dude like you. I love tackle. I like new tackle. I like figuring out the good, the bad, what I like, what I don't like. It's all a journey. We're going on some adventures. Hopefully I'm taking you with me. Yeah? Let's jump right into it. Today is Tuesday, March 25th, and this thing showed up at the door. So we're gonna crack it open. If you're not familiar, 6th Sense, a Texas company. I'm not affiliated with them, but it's been kind of a fun thing I've done for the last, few years on this channel. It's a subscription deal. I haven't found a reason to not continue to support a Texas company, but it comes in a little box. It's about 30 bucks a month. If you want a code, you can go get one from somebody way cooler than me. I don't have discount codes. I'm not into obligations. So we'll take a look right now. You get a sack, okay? And inside of that sack, there is some tackle. If you don't like sacks and tackle, again, this might not be for you. It's like 30 bucks a month. No, you don't get to pick it. Y'all in the comments, let me know. If you're in like New Jersey, do you get different shit than I get? If you're in Florida, do you get different stuff than I get? Like, I've got looks like 3 hard plastics. And again, it's all for 30 bucks. Heck yeah. So we got a Provoke 106 DD Silent. This is their jerk bait, right? Yes, it does look familiar to like the jerk bait that is arguably like the most popular. It's the 106, so this is kind of their standard size. This is in the Pro Blue scales. It's slightly translucent and got those badass scales. If you've never heard of 6th Sense, like, their paint jobs catch fishermen. They catch this fisherman, and dude, I gotta give you major props. This is badass. Somebody at 6th Sense was listening, and maybe not to me, more than likely not to me, but look at what is on the bottom of this lure. If this isn't the greatest thing in fishing right now, I don't know what is. Check it out. Can you see it? Can you see it? Well, it doesn't matter if you can see it on the camera. I'm going to tell you in real life, I can see it. It's right on the freaking lure. It says 106 DD. No, it says 106 SDD, right? We know that this is the standard 106 millimeter. S meaning silent, DD meaning deep diver. You can also tell because it has that bigger lip, and it says silent on it. It says 4 to 7 feet. Tackle companies, take note. Label your shit, because we've wanted you to do that forever. Quit being 30, to the entire tackle industry, quit being 30 years behind every other industry. Like, what is wrong with you? Have you never done anything else? Insane. If you've watched my previous videos, you know what grinds my gears. Basic shit like this not being done. So 6th Sense, from the bottom of my heart, whoever at the company decided to start labeling their baits, thank you. That right there, that's why I'm going to keep subscribing. You label your shit. And yes, it is that simple. Proud moment right there. Jerk baits are great. This is a 106, so this will be, pre-spawn, post-spawn fish that have just moved off. This is going to get a little bit deeper down. Maybe if you're in like some deep clear water fisheries, though, where like fish do spawn down in that 4 to 8 foot range, this may be the deal. But yeah, as far as jerk baits go, the 106, I'm not paying $24 a piece, and they do indeed catch fish. So that's the first one. Badass. Thank you. Now you can tell, right, like some of their other stuff, because these aren't new lures, but I do like them. The Curve 55, by the way, it's kind of like a wiggle wart. If you've never fished the Curve 55, I'm not going to go into like hard baits and why they do what they do, but I'll give you a breakdown. This right here, this is the Curve 55. I like that color. It's like the brown and red. It's kind of a natural. It's kind of translucent. If you look, it's got that teardrop, right? That teardrop kind of shape. And again, we're going to stick to the basics. Like, why do you care about that? Well, if you're looking for a lure that has a wide wobble hunting action as it moves, by the way, these are sticky hooks, right? You can see that right there. They grab right away. Then you want that big bulbous front end. If this were a rattle trap or like a flat side crankbait, it would just come through the water like that, so a tighter wobble. That's how that works. I don't make up the rules. But that's the second hard bait. And the third hard bait, again, if you've never heard of 6th Sense, it's okay, right? I'm not going to bash you for it. There's companies that come and go and pop up and all that different stuff. I will tell you that 6th Sense is definitely known for some of their paint jobs. And this time of year, right, shallow fishing, it's hero season, right? Everybody can go to the bank and catch a giant. Here we go. This right here, it's Crush 50X. It is your standard square bill. This is a square bill. It's not super bulbous as far as the head goes. That paint job, I don't know what they even call this, but we're gonna call it bluegill. Custom bluegill. I mean, it's a dope color. Like I said, 6 cents has some pretty dope paint jobs. So it's a Crush 50X. You can, you know, burn this shallow, go crank the rocks with it, all that different stuff. Not great for vegetation. I don't know what square bill is great for vegetation. Not this one. There are other ones. If you have a, if you got a crankbait that's great for vegetation, let me know down in the comments. Teach me something. Then we're gonna get into this. This is a Panorama 3.5. Y'all already know about the Panorama. If you don't, then you know it'll catch lots of fishermen. This is Ghost Pro Shad. Kind of weird. This Ghost Pro Shad is not like the Ghost Pro Shad they used to come out with. What they used to come out with was a very translucent, like, it was that, they look cool, don't get me wrong, like, they look cool as shit. I'm not a great fisherman, so maybe that's why I have not caught a whole lot of fish on the Panorama. But this Ghost Pro Shad is like painted all the way down to the bottom versus being clear, even though like I said, the other ones that I got were pretty translucent on the bottom, painted on the top. It is what it is, and this is what I got. The most success I've had on these is on a Tokyo rig. This is not the video for me to get into a Tokyo rig, but the most success that I've had on this is dragging shell beds and hard points on, or hard areas on points on a Tokyo rig. So yeah, I don't know, that's the deal. Let's go. We got some soft plastics, and by the way, okay, Ridge Lizard 5.7. This is a brand new bait from 6 cents that y'all have never seen before. You've never fished it before. If you're super cool and you have a deal with 6 cents, then you know you've already been showing it off. You know, it looks like a zoom worm. Okay, it looks like a zoom worm with the ridge tail on it. Is that a bad thing? No, I mean, it's a lizard. I don't know what your favorite bait company is, but you're not really gonna revolutionize like the industry in regards to like coming out with a lizard. It is a nice thick head. It's got a solid body, which means as far as rigging goes, like it's not gonna rip out super easy, which is awesome. There's some other brands of lizards that have like this really slender top part. It's like, how do you want me to rig that shit without it just kind of getting ripped off? So good job on that. I do like that. As far as this color, green pumpkin juice is definitely a good color. Doesn't matter the brand, but from 6 cents I find that it kind of works all the time everywhere. And as far as the ridge tail, you know, they call it the Ridge Lizard 5.7. This tail was made popular on the ridge worm. It's really light. I can see a little bit of salt in the tail, not a ton, but that's going to mean that it's buoyant or it's super floaty. And so show them something different. Put this on a little Carolina rig. I bet it'll get smashed, right? They haven't seen this before. So that is brand new from 6 cents Fishing, the Ridge Lizard 5.7. Who would have thunk it? Brand new bait in the 6-sack. You get that too, by the way. Like, you can't go online and order these. I'm pissed because I can't order more bodegas. This, I don't know if I'm gonna order more of these. I've got good things for this space in my fishing arsenal. If you don't have lizard stuff, you know, yeah, I guess you could jump on it. But that bodega, I like the bodega, and I can't order it yet, even though I got it in a 6-sack last month. Is what it is. Let's dive down here. Let's see what we got that time of year. Holy smokes, exclusive color on the clobber minnow. Listen, what do they say? If you ain't scoping, you hoping. I am absolutely, I laugh my ass off. Look at this. Woo! Pink bubblegum. This is a clobber minnow from 6 cents, right? It's got some thickness right there, right? So that you can rig it on one of the little tiny minnow heads. When fish are keyed in on really tiny little bait, these work great. Don't let anybody bullshit you like they're not super durable, but what do you expect, right, from a super tiny little crappie bait? I don't know. So I'm not banging on them. Like, I'm not saying that, you know, they're not good. But I've heard some people talk about, you know, how durable they are, and You're full of shit. Like that's a fact, and it doesn't, you know, y'all might know who I'm talking about, you might not know who I'm talking about, but like when they say that these are durable and they catch like 50 fish on them, you're full of shit. Okay, quit lying to people. Just be straight up who you are and tell people that they are a super finessey little bait. Like, look at the size of that tail right there. Dude, you get movement out of that without even moving it. Thank you. That's great. It does what it's supposed to do. I won't bullshit you. If you get short strike on that, like, you bring it back, no tail first cast. It's part of the deal, right? If you want a bait that has that level of action without any input from you, it's going to take being really thin. And those white bass and crappie that are going to nose up to it and nip it, like, they're going to bite it off. We're fucking lying. These are not super durable, but they do catch a shit out of fish. So I'm going to take a bait that is a fish catcher over durability 9 times out of 10. That's what I like to catch fish. I love fishing. I like catching a little bit more. Okay, so I dig it. It's clobber minnow. We get it in an exclusive color as a 6-sack subscriber. Like I said, you pay $30 a month and they send it to you. It says exclusive color because you can't order it, but we're gonna call it what it is. That bubble gum, and it'll catch shit out of fish. It will. We got a couple more things in here. Okay, oftentimes they will include the tackle that you need to rig the soft plastics. I mean, it's right here. Well, I got 2 things. All right, so first off, this is a stout wide gap hook. This is a 4/0, and so maybe the deal is that I need to be pairing these with that, or, and more realistically, is before we get into these little deals right there, you already know what they're for. They're legit. I just went off on a whole rant. So you got the 5.7 Ridge Lizard in green pumpkin juice. You take one of their hooks that was included in the sack. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. Okay, EWG wide gap hook, new from 6 cents, the Ridge Lizard. And like I said, I'm pretty stoked about like that there's some actual substance right there for rigging. They give you these hooks in the sack so that you can just load up and fish them. I would imagine fishing this Texas rig and just hopping it around would be pretty dope. So you literally just take your hook straight down through the middle of the head. I find that when that hook starts to bend, it's usually about an ideal place to go ahead and push it through. You take that guy, push it up onto your hook. I like for it to go up over the knot, and then I measure, you know, where that needs to go. This is super basic. I know a lot of y'all don't need this shit, but I've gotten caught up on a lot of line at ponds and creeks and stuff like that, and there are a lot of y'all that do need this very basic thing. So that's why I'm doing it. So you measure out where it is, and you can see it's just behind. There's a little 6 emblem right there. And I like to, if I'm fishing in vegetation, get off of there. If I'm fishing in vegetation, I'm not going to go and pierce it all the way through. Okay? I'm not going to do that. If I'm fishing around, you know, cover, stuff that I can get snagged on, I'm going to take, and right there, right before it goes to push through, I'm just going to keep that hook point. I know, you're not going to be able to see this. I guess if I had a chesty on, you'd be able to see it. But when I show you, you can see, like, see how it looks like it's hanging, but it's not an optical illusion, right? It is in there, and that hook, okay, it's just buried underneath the surface. And when a fish bites down, look what's going to happen. Boop. And of course, y'all be swinging on them little 1-pound pond fish like you're fucking King Kong anyways. So it'll penetrate. But yeah, you get a nice straight rigging option like that on this brand new from 6 cents, the Ridge Lizard. It's got some little flappers, right? So as you know, pop this around cover, like I said, Texas rig with that hook buried down like that, around wood and laydowns. Like I said, it's hero season. You know, big fish are up shallow, and a lot of people, this is the only time of year that they catch good quality fish. Like, you know who you are. Now, if you don't have a boat or you don't have a kayak, and all you do is bank fish, these comments are not directed towards you. But if you do have ways to get offshore and you're not catching them all year long, go fish more, okay? Quit posting the same 2 months worth of content on social media all year long. That's not the deal, okay? All right, I'm gonna get back to worrying about me. So yeah, something they haven't seen. I bet I could Texas rig this up for my kid and he can go catch a fish right now. And at the end of the day, like, he would fucking dig that, and that'd be awesome. I imagine these arms are gonna get ripped off pretty easy. Like, everything's up shallow this time of year. Bluegill are, you know, little, like, the forage fish are up shallow this time of year, and they'll get defensive and they'll nip these off too. So it is what it is. I'll pop this back into that bag and I'll show you on the next one. Right, we got that clobber minnow. Like I said, not durable, but it'll catch shit out of fish. Okay, go ahead and make fun of the stutter. Got a couple things in there, but we're gonna rig it up real quick for you. We'll spice up this freaking tackle video right here. All right, this is a size 4 hook. So if you need to buy your own stuff for this, you get a size 4. This is a 1/16 ounce. This will catch everything. Okay, this will catch everything. And by the way, so again, size 4 hook, 1/16 ounce. These come in a 5-pack. I do have some of these, and I just order them in bulk raw. You know, if it builds a lot of confidence in you to have these little heads painted, whatever, cool. This is baby shad. I'm not convinced that it makes a difference, and a bulk pack of raw, just like silver heads, is cheaper, and you get like 25 of them. Because I throw this shit up in trees, up in bushes, and I be getting snagged and breaking off all the time. So yeah, I just ordered that bulk pack. All right, like you saw, we got that. It's bubblegum. Okay, that's the exclusive color. We got a little crappie jig head, and these are tiny, and they've got like processing oils on them, so they're kind of hard to hold. You know. Anywho, you take this little dude and you measure it up, and on this I'm going to take and put just a little, I basically just, I don't even know why I showed you that on the camera, like you're not going to see it. I just marked the back a little bit where I want the hook to come out, right? Like if it's rigged perfectly, I want the hook to come out right about there, and that'll work for me. These will look really wonky if your hook wobbles back and forth in them. And if that matters to you, it probably matters more to you and me than it does to the fish. But the fish ain't paying for this shit. I am. So it needs to be the way that I want it to be. And I want it to be straight down the back of this little catcher. You can ping a minnow with this too, by the way. It's you know, it's tiny, and you know, you can't crank on these dudes. Again, you know, if you promote this and you talk about how these hooks are so stout, get the fuck out. This is not a punching hook. It's not some super thick deal, right? It is a tiny, super sharp little crappie hook, right? And they're only as strong as they can be when they're that small. Like, have I had these bend out? I had a catfish bend one out. My drag was set right, but man, when a freaking 14-pound catfish just freaking decides to, you know, put the beans on it, it's gonna be tough. So, anywho, like I said, that clobber minnow in the water, like, you don't even have to. I'm legit trying to hold my finger still, and you can see, like, that little dude just. And in the water, you can imagine, you can literally just hang this under the boat, and they'll kill it. Crappie guys, I catch a shite ton of giant crappie on these. They're dope. Like I said, the tail's gonna get bitten off a bunch, but I still caught fish even though the tail was bitten off. So that is the clobber minnow. That's how that looks when it's rigged up on the little jig head. Again, all this stuff came in the sack. So, you know, is this the deal? Is this what you need to be throwing the rest of the year? I don't know. Is this it? Little pink bubblegum clobber minnow, little crappie jig. Is that what bass fishing is coming to? Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. I don't know. I don't really give a shit. I want to go catch fish. How I want to catch them doesn't prevent you from catching them however you want to catch them. I got mad respect for people that, you know, don't use electronics and fish with a cane pole, all that jazz. Mad respect. It is what it is. There are some days I go out, and here you go. Here's for the days that you go out and all you do is catch a buzz. Got a 6 cents koozie. This is a dope little koozie. I like it. I just got back from the Bassmaster Classic, and so I've got fucking dozens of koozies. By the way, little deal for you. If you're still watching this late in the video, I've talked about doing a giveaway. And the giveaway is with a brand new, from Megabass, the 5-inch mag draft. It is this one right there. Check that out. For people who aren't subscribed to the channel, for people who don't watch my videos, they'll never see this. I'm not saying you need to rub it in nobody's face, but we're going to be doing the giveaway for this. Tag me on socials, let me know, and we'll get that set up pretty soon. I do have a few other little 5-inch goodies to be giving away, which this time of year, like everything is going to eat a 5-inch swim bait. Everything is going to eat a 5-inch swim bait this time of year. I just wanted to do this reminder, let you know that I didn't forget about it. Like, I do care about all this stuff. My name is Peter. This is my chaotic fishing. I hope you liked going through some tackle. If you prefer that I rig stuff up, break it down, like do it on video rather than just kind of rip through it, let me know in the comments. I don't know, right? I just see that watch time goes to trash when I get into detail with this stuff. And so I've got to make, you know, I got to make content that people want to watch. So if you do want to watch it and see that stuff rigged up, holla at your boy. Let me know in the comments, and I will catch you, hopefully, on the next adventure. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying rad. I hope you can go out to a local pond today and just go freaking rip on them. Go feel like a rock star, because that's what time of year it is.